Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Nick, and we are on another edition of We Wednesday. Just want to thank you all for joining this morning. Today, I want to hit a little bit of a topic I talk quite a bit about, I think, in church, but I want to dig into it a little bit more. And it's called raising children in a digital culture. Raising children in a digital culture. You know, one of the things that we really have to be mindful of, we've been talking a lot in church about the soil of our hearts, the ground of our hearts. And one of the things we got to be mindful of with our kids is guarding hearts, or guarding their hearts in a screen driven world. That's right, guarding their hearts in a screen driven world. And I just want to take a minute. I'm not going to be long this morning. Pastor Franny and I and Pastor Deborah getting on the road heading to Italy. But anyway, I just want to take a quick minute and say, you know, every generation has faced different challenges when it comes to raising children. But I have to say that I don't believe that any generation in the history of time has faced what parents face today. I think that unlimited access to information, I think that unfiltered content, I think that social media comparison, pornography at children's fingertips, influencers shaping their identity, screen disciplining children is something parents don't like to do, don't want to do. You know, as a matter of fact, I see a lot of parents walk into a restaurant to eat with their kids. The first thing they do is they set up their screen, put the kids on the screen, and they go to having their dinner. So the screens are now, you know, even babysitters to a big degree. So we're not just raising children, we're raising children in what I call a digital culture. That is constantly banging on our kids, constantly speaking to our kids, constantly trying to get their attention, constantly tapping into to who they are, what they want to be. And I got to tell you, man, if parents are not leading intentionally today, technology will. If parents are not leading intentionally today, technology will. So I just want to give you a couple of quick points this morning, just some things to think about. And then I think we're going to kind of dive into this a little bit more, spend some more time when it comes to this, because I think it's vital. I think it's very important. So the one thing I want to cover today is, and it's something that is kind of near and dear to our hearts, since what we've been talking about our ground and the Go Gospel, the loudest voice always wins. Write that down. The loudest voice always wins. Children are constantly being disciplined. The only question is by whom? It's just like parents. Parents are always being ministered to. The word ministry means developing your heart. That's what ministry does. It develops your heart. But is your heart being developed for good or for bad? Is it being developed in righteousness or is it being developed in lust, right? So our kids are constantly being disciplined. They're constantly being developed. The question is by who? And, you know, we know in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, what does it say? And do not be conformed to this world, but be ye what? Transformed by the entire renewal of your mind. So what are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying social media and digital platforms today shape our children's identity, shape our children's values, even shape what our children perceive as sexual norms. They shape our children's self-worth. And I'll tell you another thing they really shape and work on is our children's attention span. What's their attention span like? And we need to really understand that if God's voice is quiet in the home and culture's voice is loud on the screen, culture's going to win. Let me say it again. If God's voice is quiet in the home and culture's voice is loud on the screen, culture's going to win. You must ensure that God's voice is louder than the voices your children are hearing. You have to put discipline in place when it comes to these screens, when it comes to screen time. And I'm going to take it a little bit further today. I'm not only going to challenge you in the area of screen time, I'm going to challenge you personally as a parent in the area of allowing social media and allowing your children to see social media controlling you. Your children always see you posing and flirting with social media. If that's what your daughters are seeing, what do you think they're going to do? Maybe you're at an age where you can handle flirting on social media, but maybe they're not. You're always on there trying to be sexy. Your daughters see this. And if you're married and you're doing that, your sons see it. What do sons think about mothers who are on social media trying to be sexy in front of the camera when they know that that's their father's wife? I mean, we have to think about these things. What are the thoughts that kids are thinking? I was asking my son that one time. I know a young lady that's on social media, and she acts like a straight up hoe. I can't even look at her stuff. But she's got 2 teenage sons. And I wonder what those sons think of their mother acting that way on social media. So we need to understand that our children are watching us. They're watching how we act. They're watching how we conduct ourselves. Even me, the way I conduct myself on Sundays with the Buccaneers. Man, I got to tune it down a little bit. I can't let people see me conducting myself that way, man. I get fired up. It's all in fun and games. But you know what? I'm a pastor. I have a higher calling. So I have to think about that next year. I've been really thinking a lot about that, right? So we have to think about these things, how we act, how we respond on social media, because that's the example we're putting before our children. So what's the loudest voice? Do your children see you really idolizing and want to be on social media? Where do you think they're going to want to be? And again, maybe you can handle it, but maybe they can't. Point number 2, and the greater question you got to ask yourself about that is it really magnifying God? Point number 2, access without maturity is dangerous. So children today have access far beyond their maturity level. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33 says, do not be deceived. Evil company corrupts good habits. Do not be deceived. Evil company corrupts good habits, right? In the digital age, company is not just friends. Company is YouTube. Company is TikTok. Company is Instagram. Watch this. Company is gaming communities. Company is chat rooms, right? Guarding your child's digital life is not control. It's stewardship. Guarding your child's digital life is not control. It's stewardship. Boundaries are biblical. Boundaries are biblical. We got to get a revelation of that. And lastly, for today, I told you I'd hit you with 3 quick points. Lastly, for today, parents must lead, not just monitor, right? Filters help, monitoring apps help, but parents leading is the most important thing. Proverbs 4:23 says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. Parents must have conversations about what their children are watching. They must explain why boundaries exist. They must teach discernment. Teach discernment. Teach your children discernment. And you must model self-control with your own devices. You must model self-control with your own devices. If parents are glued to the screen, guess what? Children will follow. You cannot tell them to disconnect while you're addicted. You cannot tell them to disconnect while you are addicted. So our call to action this week's real simple. Review screen time as a family. Set boundaries with your children. Let your children see you set some boundaries. Let your children see you talk about being a little bit more disciplined with the phone. Talk to your children about content that comes up that's not good. Talk to them about why it's not good. Help them understand what it's doing to their heart. Have real discussions with them. Have real conversations with them. Amen? Listen, I hope this has helped. I really wasn't trying to be preachy to you guys today. That wasn't my intent. I just want you to know I love you. I especially love our children. And I do think it's a very dangerous society out there. And we are responsible for making sure that our children are thinking through these things. Amen. I love you. I love you guys. I love you guys. Don't forget, tonight is church night. Get to church. Matter of fact, tonight we're going to have a testimony service. Bring your best testimony tonight to church. Amen. I want to hear some great testimonies. Fran and I will watch them all. We love it when you guys give testimonies. So get to church, give a testimony. Look forward to that. And then I'll see you on Friday from Barcelona, Spain on Financial Wisdom Friday. Love you. I love you. I love you. Pastor Nick saying, enjoy life.